Okay, here we go. Round 2, Gravatt. So we're doing about 105 Ks or something today altogether. So this is the start of the ride. So we did 2 repeats of the hill. Again, 2K climb. And I get yet another PB on this. So well happy with this. Broke the 7s. Finally got in the 6s. So I said the other day, or the other video I put up the other day, what did I do there? I averaged, I think it was 303 watts for this climb. Did a 7:07 minutes to the top. Let's have a look. 306 watts. Now I did say at the time, to get in the 60s, you've got to be somewhere between 320 and 330 watts average that you got to hold for this 2K climb. Okay, so average is around 7%, and that's what you're going to do. And today I thought I'm going to hit it, I'm going to go for it and see what I can do. Now we had Tim with us, he's behind, he was just waiting for a mate of ours down there, see if he turned up. He catches me up and paces me the last kilometre, I'd say, the last K. So I just get stuck into it. As soon as I get past that start line, I'm getting into it. So I'm getting those watts up there. And on this particular one, I did it in 6:42. So smashed my last time. Smashed it. And average watts was 324 watts for that 6 minutes 42. So well and truly happy with that. This was hurting. I mean, you can see how quickly my heart rate got up. I think on the other one I did, my heart rate only got to around about 160. I think that's why I said I was only around about 80-85%. On the other climb I did when I was on my own. You can see Tim in the corner there, steaming up as he normally does. And but anyway, my heart rate, I got it right up there and I just held it. I knew to do a good time up here, you got to get your heart rate elevated and you've got to be able to get into a rhythm and keep that pace going. You just have to. If you can't hold a high heart rate, you're not going to get a mega time on a climb like this. So that's what I had in my mind. So I'm up at 168, 169, get up to around 170, and so I was at around about, of my heart rate, I was at around about, by the time I maxed out on it, I think I was around about, what was it, 95%, 90% or something. So what was my average heart rate? Let's have a look. Average heart rate was 165 on this one, so I think the other one was 159 or 160, so a little bit higher on this one. So I was probably at closer to 90, a bit over 90% on this. So I've got more in me. I know, here comes Tim. Now I figure I've just got to sit on his wheel and let him pace me up. I know I've got a 6:30 in me on this. Don't forget, I'm in training, so I've been doing some hard midweek sessions, as well as some rides obviously on the weekend, and we're going out pushing it pretty hard on the weekends as well as working and everything. So at this point I was pretty fatigued, so this is why I was happy with this time. I was out late last night, didn't get into bed till about 11:45, and then I was up again at 4:15 or 4:30 to go on this particular ride. So I was a little bit fatigued, so I was happy I was able to do it. And as you can see, Tim's marching up there. I've got a fairly good cadence. I feel more comfortable around that 80-90 cadence on this particular hill. If I get up closer to the 100, I don't know, it doesn't feel that good. I'm not sure why, but I felt good on this one. So Tim's out giving it a bit now, and as I'm coming around this corner now, I know the water tank's here. This is the water tank I talk about, and I figure if I can hold him to here, I can do the rest of it, because it doesn't level out, but I mean it gets a little bit easier just for a little split second, and it does give your legs that little bit of reprieve. And on the other video I also said it's a mental game, this is, and it is, because as soon as Tim came by, I thought I'm just going to stick with him and fight through it. And getting over that mental side of it, getting your head into that gear, psyched into that zone, is part of the key when you're doing this. Because don't forget, I'm pushing way over my FTP here. I'm into zone 6 for a lot of the time on this. You know, high zone 5, zone 6. I mean, I was burning my legs up doing this. When Tim did his PB, he's got a good PB on this hill. He did it in 5:53. Is his fastest time up here. And Strava worked out, he doesn't run a power meter, but Strava worked out that his average wattage was about 410 watts for the 2K climb. So, I mean, that is huge. That's a lot of power that you're putting out over that amount of distance on a 7% climb. So, you know, it's a fair old climb. It's just nice and steady the whole way. So I've literally got, I don't know, 400 meters left or something, and I'm seriously starting to tire here. I mean, I'm starting to feel it. Look, I'm still in the 300 watt mark. Tim's just marching up there, and I've literally got a couple of 100 meters to go, and I'm just digging in here, just digging in, thinking I've just got to do it. Heart rate's well and truly up there, 173, and I finally do it. So I've got a 6:42 on this. Tim slows down in a minute and comes round and tries to egg me on. Get out of the saddle, he's saying. Get out of the saddle. It's harder than you think this is. It's a hard thing to do. But anyway, that is it. So it goes to show you all that training, all that effort, it pays off. And if you can do this with fatigued legs, I know when I've had a week's recovery, if I do this, I'll get in that 6:30 range. So that is the plan next time. Hit the 6:30s after I've had a recovery week. After the recovery week, in the 6:30s, for definite.